everyone, I'm Heather Warlick-Moore, and today with me in the studio is Chuck May from AAA. Thanks for being here, Chuck.
My pleasure, Heather.
Now, it's pretty nice and sunny outside today, but the weatherman says that next week it might start snowing a little bit here in Oklahoma.
You know, winter's a grab bag for us here in the state. You know, we're never sure what we're going to get.
Well, you have brought a bunch of supplies to help it's a winter survival kit for your car.
Well, AAA takes a page from the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts. Be prepared. You know, hope for the best, but be ready for the worst. And so these are things to carry with you in the trunk of your car, in the bed of your pickup, just in case.
Okay, well, let's just go from my left to the right. So
Okay.
Starting with Tidy Cat kitty litter. We don't have to use Tidy Cat, but...
No, any clay-based kitty litter is good. That affords you some traction. Sand is good, also cinders, anything that is abrasive like that you can pour down in front of the power wheels. If you're kind of stuck on a little bit of glaze, ice, just can't get that traction going, sprinkle that in front of your power wheels. That'll give you some added traction.
Okay, and so then, of course, a blanket for obvious reasons.
Warm clothing, scarves, hats.
Okay.
We suggest, wearing clothes in layers. Here's a light jacket, then a heavy jacket under it. So once your vehicle is warmed up, take off the heavy jacket. You still want to be able to move around inside that car.
Okay, but pull over someplace safe before you try and take off your heavy jacket.
Exactly. Don't try to struggle out of it as you're driving.
Not a good idea. You've got a cell phone and a car charger for the cell phone there, again, for obvious reasons.
Probably the most important thing is that cell phone.
Okay.
And a charger cord in case your battery dies.
Right. Ice scrapers?
Ice scrapers, snow brush. I have that yellow one there, has a squeegee blade on one side, which is great to get some of that misty slush off the windows that we tend to get after the snow has fallen the next day and it melts up. So that's a good thing to have.
Okay, there's a brick. What's the brick for?
Well, that's to signify, it symbolizes weight in the trunk. It's all about traction on ice and snow, how to get it and how to keep it. A front wheel drive vehicle has the engine in front. That affords that vehicle good traction. You can achieve that same advantage by putting weight in the trunk of a rear wheel drive car, like bricks, like cinder blocks, like bags of sand.
Okay, so just to weigh down the back of it, and then that's in a rear wheel drive car.
Right.
Okay.
Put that stuff in the trunk or in the bed of your pickup.
Okay. Flashlight, batteries.
Yep. Make sure the batteries are there. Make sure that it's a good working flashlight. That's the key word. If you haven't used this for a few months, it may not work.
This one's a little bit older style. You might check and make sure this guy's still working.
Yeah. And here we have a first aid kit for yourself. And there's another one over there also, but you want to make sure you have Band-Aids and things like that just in case. And a first aid kit for your car, which would be pliers, screwdrivers, crescent wrench, things of this nature, so maybe some duct tape, electrical tape, just in case you need to make some emergency repairs. You can do that kind of thing yourself in many cases off by the side of the road, like if the hose comes off of the radiator, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, of course you need to have a big bag of candy.
Candy, snacks, doesn't have to be candy, it could be granola bars, anything that you can snack on in case you are stranded to maintain that strength.
And water, probably?
Water would be a good idea too, a good gallon jug.
Okay, I like the story you told me about people like in Minnesota and places like that who carry a tin can and some candles in case they need to melt the
They will carry an empty coffee can, a large one with some candles, and they'll scoop up the snow and they can melt then that snow for drinking water. I mean, it's a great idea.
There you go.
We don't have that need so much in Oklahoma, but if you were north, you would probably do something like that.
Right. Okay, well, a couple of tips I'd like you to share with our viewers about driving on ice. One thing that confuses people is that old saying that if you're skidding, you're supposed to turn into the skid.
Right, we used to say steer into the skid. Well, some people misinterpreted that by saying that, oh, you mean I should steer with the skid into it the same way the skid is going. Well, you don't want to do that because you'll just make that skid worse. So now we say simply steer the car in the direction you want it to go.
Okay. Four-wheel drive, you mentioned that is not going to necessarily get you or keep you from skidding.
No, a four-wheel drive vehicle will skid just as easily as a two-wheel drive. If you're on ice or snow, even in rainy weather with hydroplaning, four-wheel drive does you no good at all. Now, four-wheel drive is great to get out of muddy conditions, or once you are into the snowbank, it'll help you get out of that. But as far as braking, that's no advantage.
Okay. Well, great tips from you, Chuck May. Thank you so much for being here.
I should mention one more thing. We
Okay.
didn't talk about this. It's kind of tucked away, but you always want to have your jumper cables
Yes.
and know how to use them.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks again.
Thank you, Heather.
And have a great Wednesday.